Welcome back, dear listeners, to an evening cloaked in the mysteries of the beyond. I am Benson, your guide through the veiled realms, joined by our esteemed host, Bobby Washington, and our special co-host, Tony Carr, a wanderer amidst the shadows, haunted by spectral companions since time immemorial. Prepare yourselves for an ethereal journey as Bobby and Tony unearth the dark secrets that lie beyond the mortal veil this evening. Let's welcome Tony Carr back to Strange Darkness Radio.
Yes, another episode of Strange Darkness Radio with a special co-host, Tony Carr. What's up, man?
What's up, man? How you doing?
I'm doing great. How about yourself?
I'm good. Hey, that reminded me of the Haunted Mansion. I really thought I was going to go on a ride at any given moment.
Nice. That is our new spectral voice, Benson. Sky, was amazing for whatever reason. Our tech that we use switched up, and I had to, form a new cohesive relationship with a new spectral voice. And so the new guy is British, and his name is Benson. But yeah.
My Siri's British, so that's fine.
Oh, nice. I tried that, and I wasn't working too well on certain things and phrases that I needed to say or do. And so, yeah, that's funny. But yeah. I did like, the voice. But so what's been up, man? It's been a minute. Again, welcome back to the show. I got to give you some more claps.
Thank you.
Because I know you had a very huge following that wondered, like, man, what happened? What was up with Tony? Why did he, go to the dark side?
Man, it was a lot of stuff going on too. Especially with the newborn at the time. There was a lot going on, and so and then working at night, that was even hard too. Yeah, juggling that and then sleep, and then having to do research and study, and then. It was difficult because I would have to do a lot of the research at work. So I'm juggling, being busy and then doing this, and I got a little bit too much. Yeah. But now he's getting older. He's two. He's two now. So
nice. Congratulations on that.
Yeah, thank you. His sleep is getting better. So hopefully I'll be able to come on a little bit more, actually.
Oh, that'd be amazing, dude.
I think I have a little bit more time for that.
Oh, nice. Cool. That would be amazing. Added bonus to everything and what we do. And again, tonight is about Tony Carr. Carolyn is doing her thing somewhere, out partying probably. And Amy's, somewhere, in a book, probably doing research. But yeah, no.
I hope to meet them one day. They're really cool.
Oh yeah, no, definitely.
I'd love to hear their thoughts and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. No, we'll do that soon for sure. But yeah. So what's been up with you? Any crazy haunts or situations that have arisen in your shadow entities that seem to stalk you at every turn?
No. I kind of wish in a way sometimes because it's been really quiet. Yeah. I haven't had anything go on, especially at this new apartment. There's nothing that happened. I don't get no weird feelings. It's been very quiet. Okay. So I mean for people that's fine, but I do like the little assignment, so a little rattling would be cool here and there. But
you want that?
I wouldn't mind it, because then I'd be kind of spooked out, and it's a little adrenaline. So I think I like.
Oh, okay. So
the rush.
You want the adrenaline rush?
It's
okay,
the rush.
Got it.
And I think that's what draws me to the whole paranormal stuff in the first place.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to say that it would make you feel a little bit more comfortable if there was something going on. Since you're so used to it.
It never makes me feel comfortable. I tell you that. It always scares the shit out of me, but then afterwards, I'm like, oh, damn, that was kind of crazy. Then I tell everybody about it, and nobody believes me.
Oh, okay, yeah, that happens. So again, so nothing is happening in this current place. No. So I just have to say, for the record, Tony comes into the studio. This is the first time of him being in the studio and checking it out and everything, and us recording, here. Yeah. And the interesting thing about it, I have this ring light, and I was showing Tony our OBS setup that we're getting ready for our live streams and the cameras and everything that we're going to be doing. out of this said studio, correct? Tony, that's what we were doing, right?
Yeah, that's pretty much what was going on.
Okay. So as I go to turn up the ring light doesn't respond. Then it starts to kind of flash a little bit and flip out. I'm like, okay, what's going on with the ring light? Brand new ring light, never had an issue with it. Never had an issue with any lights other than my sign when I, was talking to Christina, which you guys will hear about that. That episode will probably have aired already before you hear this. So this is, I guess, a continuation of, issues with lighting in my house now. And again, this is a standalone light. Never had an issue with it. But when Tony comes over, I don't know if it's Christina or Tony, but there seems to be an issue with the light and not wanting to respond and doing the whole, a little bit ago, it was doing the whole kind of like.
Yeah, I think it's going in and out.
Yeah, like in and out, like flickering, but it was really low. Yeah. You had to really pay attention to it because the light is set low. Like I can't even turn it up and it's still not working correctly.
It was out for a good minute too.
Yeah.
It worked for a hot second and that was it.
Yeah, because it was already on at a certain level and I just wanted to turn it down or I was changing the tone of the light and then it just started to totally flip out. So I am curious to see once Tony leaves, will the light go back to normal?
If it does that, I'm going to church Sunday.
Oh, wow. Yeah. So again, and I've had some issues lately in the house. So we'll talk about that, also. So
interesting.
Okay. So again, let's get into some things from your past.
Okay. Let's do it then.
Like, the whole situation. You used to work at Paramount?
No, DreamWorks as a security
DreamWorks,
guard.
Okay.
Yeah, as a security guard. So at the time, I believe my security company was called, so there was Securitas, there were Universal, now it's, and then it was also Allied.
Okay.
Allied had bought Universal, so that became one thing. But before all that, Securitas had that post, so that contract pretty much.
Okay.
So they lost it during Christmas, I believe. And so when we went in there, I was doing graveyard, and they were showing us around of what we need to do, what we need to check, because it's a pretty big facility. It's actually like 7 buildings.
Wow.
In a gated community, so it's like its own little city. Now that place has some creepy ass feelings. The first day we was walking at one of the top floors.
Wait 1 second. Are these actual studios for movies to be shot at? Like, what is the environment? Or are these offices? What is the
It's so you have the front building. I believe it's like administration. I don't know how. Actually, I really don't know how that all works. I just know that they have the cafeteria in one building. They have the basement in which they record. Mm-hmm. Down there, they have, I think, mocap as well.
Okay.
They do all the mocapture. They record the soundtracks for the movie there. They do everything there. All the animation is all done there. But each building, each floor is designed for different parts of the movie they're working on.
Okay, got it.
So one floor may be, say, the Trolls at one point. The bottom floor at a different building may be at the time Captain Underpants. So they was working on 2 different movies, but 2 different buildings had different like themes to it.
Okay, got it.
So but there was always had Ouija boards there.
On the set, just sitting around?
Not on the set, but like in the I guess it's lunchroom.
Wait. So this is a movie set that has various different movies that are being filmed, or a studio to where they're like shooting, various TV programs like Charmed or something? Like, what is the reason that you would have Ouija boards in the break room?
Tell you the truth, bro, I have no idea. Mm-hmm. But DreamWorks is more animation. So like Kung Fu Panda, Captain Underpants, Trolls, Shrek.
Got it.
They're mostly just animation, no live action. I'm gonna show you a picture.
Okay,
because I want to show you what I want to show you what I'm talking
on
about.
IG
of what it looks like, and it's in Burbank, I believe.
Okay, Burbank, California.
Yeah, Burbank, California. Or actually, sorry, correction, Glendale.
Glendale. Okay.
Yeah, Glendale. It's off in the cuts. You really don't even know where it's at.
So in Glendale, California, at DreamWorks Studios, in the cafeteria area, for some reason, they have various Ouija boards that they just bust out and ask, different questions about.
But that's what it looks like.
Okay, nice. Yeah, nice facility. Amazing.
Yeah, so that's what it looks like. That's only one part. There's another part in the back of that. Anyways, so I was doing my patrols. I was just walking around, making sure, because each floor has, I guess, a cafeteria, and they also have a soda machine. So we like a legit soda machine. So you got to make sure you look underneath and make sure there's nothing leaking and stuff. So
okay,
that's where I saw the Ouija boards in like one of those break rooms,
cubbies,
break
like
rooms type of thing.
Yeah, they weren't just sitting out on the countertop; they were actually in like cubbies.
No, they was on top of the counter.
Oh, okay.
And then I would see them every day when I was doing my rounds. One day I came and the Ouija board was out on the table.
So it was calling you. it was calling you.
I
the whole
seen that
time.
shit and I looked at it and I was like, no. I turned around. But every time I would do patrols in different buildings of DreamWorks, I would have to have my phone like this.
Oh, okay.
And I would have to walk because I would be too scared.
Oh,
and
wow.
the thing is, it was dark a lot of the time, especially at night.
Yeah.
You think the fucking lights is on, but you have people working. You would have in one big ass building or one big ass floor, you would have like two people working in the dark. So you're walking, you don't hear these people working.
Yeah.
You're just walking in the dark and you see people with their not people, but you see their desk.
A dimly lit screen or
dimly lit screen. And everything else
light.
is dark. And then people have like a lot of statues here and there. They have like masks at their desk. They have all types of decorations. So if you're not, you might turn a corner and there's like a Freddy Krueger mannequin right there and it scares the shit out of you,
That's funny.
So a lot of times I would have to have my phone in front of my face because the vibe would just be off.
Wow. And
so one day when I saw that Ouija board, it scared me. And I was like, oh, God, man, like they play Ouija boards here.
Now, have you ever tried a Ouija board before this? Or
My first time, I tell you my first time in a minute. But soon after I saw the Ouija board in DreamWorks, I was doing my rounds once again.
Okay.
Early in the morning, but I was unlocking like executives' doors at 5:00 in the morning. You have to open up the top dogs, doors and stuff. Have that shit open for them, and pretty much. Make sure they have the red carpet out for them.
Exactly.
And so I was opening and unlocking doors, and I started feeling my back. My back started itching. And when my back itches, I've learned in the past, I'm getting scratched up.
Wow. Now, is there pain involved, or it's just the itching sensation?
First, and then I believe, like about 5 minutes later, after the itching's done, then the burning started to kick in.
Wow.
Yeah. So I felt that, and I was like, "Oh shit, I'm getting cut right now."
Yeah.
So I'm trying to hurry up and open up all these doors. I need to get the hell out of here.
Yeah.
Because it's not just me working there; it's a lot of different security guards, but we're in different places that
different areas.
We're alone sometimes, and so I went.
Are you guys using walkie-talkies?
Yeah, walkie-talkies and shit like that. Like, so I went home and I asked my girlfriend. I was like, "Hey, can you check my back?" Checks my back, 3 marks right on my one on my back. I got a picture of it too, actually.
Yeah,
I found it, and the crazy thing about it, I would tell people about this at the time. I could never find the picture. It was not in my gallery. I would look everywhere.
Yeah.
And then I think about 2 years ago, I found it again, and it was in my gallery the whole time. Oh, and I kid you not, I would go back and I would search.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Wow.
Now it's there, like it was.
When this episode goes up, we will definitely put this on our Strange Darkness Radio Instagram, so you guys can check out Tony. And this is the first time this happened. You were scratched.
No,
at DreamWorks.
No. Oh,
no, the one you actually recorded though, the one that actually you took a picture of. Or is this more like?
I've had a couple actually.
Oh, okay. And as he's, getting ready to show me this picture, I'm going to check the light again, and it's not working whatsoever. So I just find it very interesting. So and as he's doing this, I have an app I want to go ahead and try. I was thinking about trying this on the show. And so since this has happened, I'm going to go ahead and let this ride. So what I'm doing now is engaging this Spirit Box app. And let's see if we can get any communication with what the heck is happening in this studio right now. As I'm trying to adjust the light in this studio. This is interesting. Man, Tony freaking Carr. Wait a minute.
Oh,
now it's flickering.
There it goes.
It's doing its thing. It's changing multiple times. The light, it just went shut off by itself.
Yeah, that's it.
It went through. It went about 3 or 4 different modes of the color changing.
Oh, and I found it.
Okay. Oh, dang, that's a lot of scratches, bro.
Yeah.
That's a lot of scratches.
Yeah.
That's like a late night R&B music session type scratches. Wow, I can't wait to show you guys this. This is incredible. But yeah,
I'll send this to you right now.
Yeah, like I said, there's something going on in the studio. So let's go ahead and
yeah, but this shit hurts, bro. It burns and it itches.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, it looks painful, man. It looks like you earn those scratches the old school R&B way. But if it's not from that, definitely.
My girlfriend believes that it's like, because I used to get them maybe once a year, and she thinks it was around the time I first played the Ouija board on that, like around that same time frame each year. Because I would get them, like I'm not lying, like once a year, and I would show her, like I would tell her, like, hey Paula, I got the scratches again.
Cemetery.
Ooh,
what was that?
So that was the Spirit Box, and it said
Is
cemetery.
That real?
Yeah, it's going right now.
No way.
Yes, way. It's going right now. And again, some say this is a form of using a Ouija board, which I don't believe. So at least I'm sticking to that regards because I don't really mess around with Ouija boards per se. I know Carolyn was on the show and she did her Ouija board session from her location that me and Amy were a part of. But the Spirit Box is going right now. It said cemetery. So I don't know why it said cemetery, which again, we're always talking about going to the cemetery on the show. And I know me and Amy and Carolyn are supposed to go when she comes down. We're supposed to go hit up a cemetery spot. So we have another voice. Another voice is about to come.
Airhead.
Whoa. Airhead. I don't. Calling you an airhead, bro, or me an airhead? I don't know what's happening in this room right now. Oh, and the light goes off.
Oh shit! Yeah.
And the light goes off. This is
that's
this
crazy.
is a trip right now. I am totally tripping out. Yeah, this is a wild one, people. I truly have to say. And the funny thing about it, this is the first time really recording in this studio. So I hope you guys do hear this. I hope there's no technical issues. But this is incredible. I really have to say.
Yeah.
I know Amy and Carolyn are going to wish they were on tonight's show.
I still get nervous when I talk. So I'm like,
hell
yeah, I do.
Here we go.
But then looking at you helps. It helps me.
We have another voice coming through. So let's see what we have tonight. What are you trying to tell us?
I like to play games.
Dang. It likes to play games. Okay. So entity, shadow figure, whatever you are that's talking right now, can you tell me a little bit about Tony? Something that he would only know, or something kind of personal? Because again,
that'd be crazy.
Yeah,
that'd be actually really crazy.
So let's see if you have you have enough energy in this room. And again, this room is extremely charged with energy. Here we go. We got another thing coming through. Let's see. I'm curious.
Magical.
Oh,
that was about
magical.
me.
Yeah. So
the other one was about you.
Okay.
The last one was about you.
No, I think, you know what, though? I have to be honest, bro. you said you're more comfortable recording, talking to me. It makes you feel comfortable.
Yeah.
And then, so I think it was hitting you with the airhead thing based upon you shouldn't need me to make you feel comfortable, or when you're doing your thing, or how you feeling about a certain situation. So I don't know. I don't know, bro.
Maybe because when I was telling the story, I was getting a little, shooken up. But once time goes by, I will feel better. But
yeah, so this is interesting. I mean,
this is crazy.
We did not plan on us using the spirit box. Here we go. No, we got something else coming through. This is interesting.
Mavis.
What is it?
Mavis. Do you know a Mavis?
No.
I don't know a Mavis. Is your name Mavis? Is that what you're trying to tell us? Is there a spirit?
Bust a Ouija board out right now. I'm gonna make one right here, right now.
Wow.
Let's do it right here, right now.
This is already going off the rails. But is your name Mavis? Is that what you're saying? That your name is Mavis? Because I'm curious. I know I did contact Christina based upon my light situation. And again, the light is off. Again, I turned the light on and now it's off. So, Mavis, are you playing with the lights in the studio? Let's see. Something's coming across again. It shows in the app when it's coming across. So let's see.
Nose ring.
And I don't know if this is just automatic generated things that is happening here, but I just do find it curious that multiple things are happening as far as the issue with the light. And okay, we have something coming across that quick. That's pretty quick.
You ever played that pencil game? That pencil, the paper pencil that says yes or no. You put two pencils, the old school pencils,
and
you put them on top.
Channel.
I don't know if it's real or not, but then if you ask it, it's like if you ask it, it will go yes or no by itself. It will move.
Oh, okay. No,
it's like those what's those things?
Like a divining rods.
Yeah, it's like that.
Okay,
but with paper and
oh wow,
yeah, it's like the same shit as a Ouija board.
Yeah, much. I don't know this, but I found this is interesting, dude. I'm totally tripping out right now.
Yeah.
So it said channel. So as far as are we channeling you right now, or is Tony a channeler or channeling? Okay, we have something else coming through.
I got it inside me.
This is
I
mean, don't say
I'm that dude.
Attachments are real, bro. Attachments are real. And again, I'm gonna go ahead and turn the light.
Asylum holds madness.
Oh, what now? What? Asylum holds Magnus.
Magnus? I thought it said madness.
Oh, Asylum holds madness.
That's what I thought.
Ooh. That's interesting. That's creepy.
I gotta get away from you.
I'm
going home.
He said me. He said me. That is hilarious. That's hilarious. Okay, well, ask it a question. You're used to the whole Ouija board thing. Ask this thing a question so it can answer one way or the other. Let's see what's happening here.
Yeah, I'm curious. What did I ask? It's simple. I always ask, what is your name? I like asking that. Okay. Who are you? What is your name? That's a good one.
Okay. So we don't want to think the name is actually Mavis. Okay. That quick as you asked it. It's dance.
This thing's a little freaky.
I don't know. Well,
I dance.
Yeah. I don't know, but I find this intriguing only because the situation with the lights. Yeah, I mean, I've tried to reset it. I've tried to unplug it, plugged it back in, and I'll do it one more time. And again, I have no electric issues in my home. Just FYI. Ooh, there we go. And it flickered. It's flickering. It's doing the whole Morse code thing. I should be filming this. Maya. So Maya, let me ask you a question because now I am curious along with the flickering light. And it's still flickering right now. So Maya, were you in my house within the last 2 weeks? Did you make your presence known to me? Answer that question. Then we can truly talk. Let's see what the spirit box says. Okay, we have the flickering light going.
Yeah.
The light is flickering. Here we go. Now we have a response also. This is crazy.
Riley.
Riley.
I don't think they answered the question.
Okay. It was Riley that was in the house? I need a yes or a no on that one. I need some type of... Yeah.
Was it a female, male?
No, it was a female.
Female?
Yeah.
So there you go. Riley.
And we do have the lights flickering still. Man, this is wild. I mean, dude, yeah. I've not had any issue.
So it seems like you had some type of experience then, huh?
Oh, I did. I'm going to get into it in a second here. Mm-hmm. I'm going to let this thing answer that question and see if it responds. Here we go. We got a response coming across.
Burden.
I don't know if that really answers my question. I do want to venture a little bit down that particular road because to me that's interesting. You know, the whole white noise, what can be pulled, you know, from the noise of certain frequencies that you hear. Because the whole thing with Silver Rain, that was a big thing. When we had Silver Rain on the show, a lot of the times there would be EVPs in the silent portions of the audio.
You showed me a couple of those, yeah.
Yeah, and there was no waveform, no nothing. It was just flat, but you can hear the voice loud and clear. It was just crazy. And then once I took and captured that voice from that file and put it back in Logic, you can clearly see, the spectrum analyzer pulled up the graph on it. But yeah, interesting. Okay, so I'm going to get into a little bit of this particular story or incident that occurred with me in the home. So this is interesting, but I wonder, should we do a break first? You want to do a break?
Tony? Yeah, I don't mind. That's okay. Fine.
Let's go ahead and do a break. And then when we come back, I'm going to get into a crazy scenario that happened while I was in the bathroom, and I'll be more clear about that when we come back.
It's time for a commercial break. We'll be right back. Introducing Popcorn Remix, the ultimate snack for late night cravings and podcast sessions with Bobby at Strange Darkness Radio. Escape the guilt of sinful snacks with this sweet or savory treat that transforms familiar flavors into popcorn delights. Indulge in the tempting variety, from Charlene's banana puddings to lemon cake, savory lemon and pepper, and incredible jambalaya, featuring over 50 flavors. Each bite is a mysterious encounter, captivating your taste buds like a shadowy figure in the night. Let the popcorn seduce you with its sinful allure, offering an irresistible guilty pleasure with a healthy twist. It's a burst of excitement reminiscent of Willy Wonka's Chocolate Factory. Popcorn Remix is the popcorn experience that keeps you craving more, as if you've danced with shadows in the moonlight. For this delicious adventure, contact them at info@popcornremix.com or call 678-806-5855. So go to www.popcornremix.com to have a remix in flavors. Now let's get back to Strange Darkness Radio.
All right. Again, we are back with Tony Carr. Okay, here we go. I'm about to tell you guys a crazy story that happened to me one night. So I was on my Rev Run tip and I was kicking it in the bathtub, bubble bath, for those out there, gentlemen who like to, just sit and chill. I was working on the show notes, right? And I had the bathroom door open. Nobody was home. And I normally don't leave the door open. For whatever reason, I did. So as I'm sitting in the bathtub, and also I usually have something playing, whether it's music, whether it's, some type of jazz going on in the background, or I'm watching a sitcom or something. there's usually something happening, but I was focused on, my show stuff for that particular evening. So the house was dead silence. And as I'm thinking somebody's coming in the house, as far as opening the door up, you hear the key being turned, you can hear the handle, being turned, and it was like someone came in. So I'm like, hello? Someone home? What's happening? Like who's in the house, right? I didn't hear anything. So I got out of the bathtub, searched the house, nobody was around. Checked every door, checked every window. I'm like, okay, that was weird because again, it was extremely loud. I have a Ring camera. There was nothing on the camera. And so I'm like, okay, this was odd, right? So I was actually terrified. So it wasn't that, I just, for whatever reason, was brushing it off or tripping. No. When I was looking and seeing what was going on in the home, as far as, where the windows locked, where the doors locked, everything, I was strapped. So I was patrolling my home like there was an intruder in it. So as I found there was no one in the home, I proceeded to get back in the bathtub. I put my weapon on the toilet cover and I proceeded to get back into the bathtub. So I'm chilling. I'm like, okay, that was weird. That was strange. Like, I'm not about to be robbed as I'm butt naked in the bathtub, right? So I'm go back to it. The house is pure silent. Then I hear jump rope. And then I hear like someone jumping rope, like a child jumping rope. I'm like, okay, this is odd. Like, what the hell am I hearing right now? And I stop what I'm doing. Then I hear a child starting to sing, like some nursery rhyme or some freaking scene out of a Freddy Krueger movie. Sounded like a female child. I'm like, this is fucking crazy, right? I'm like, dude, this is totally tripping me out. So you would think, okay, Bobby, why didn't you just start recording? But I froze straight up, even though I'm in the bathtub, got a gun on the toilet seat. I froze straight up, which it didn't come to my mind just to automatically stop what I'm doing and start recording on my phone. So I got out of the bathtub, proceeded down the hall. Nothing was there. I'm like, okay, this is freaking crazy. And I have 1 million recording devices in this house, and none of them are set up or armed. So what I do is I leave the phone in the living room area and leave it recording. So I go back and I just sit in the bathtub and I'm just listening. And I actually end up falling asleep in the bathtub. And fast forward an hour and a half later, I'm like, I cannot believe, one, that happened. Two, I was like out cold for a while. And I don't know how long I just sat there listening because it was crazy. I just couldn't believe, what I was hearing. And end up getting out, checking the phone. I've only checked it so far up to 45 minutes. So I still have to go through the audio, and I need to go through it with a fine-tooth comb and see if there's any EVPs or anything going on, when I throw it into my software on the computer, and not just listen to it on the phone itself. But yeah, so Tony, what do you think about that? That's a crazy situation that happened to me.
That's my worst fear, is to be hearing a child, one, and nursery rhymes at the same time.
Yeah.
I couldn't. I don't know how you stayed in the house. I would have ran, man.
Yeah, no. You always say that. When I hear crazy things from people, I always say, how did you stay? Why didn't you leave? Why didn't you do this? Right? Only was I intrigued, because, I'm more afraid of dealing with humans than dealing with actual ghosts, even though I don't do ghost haunting, or I should say hunting. But I definitely will think that's something that I'm definitely going to be focused on coming, up this year. because I don't know if things are reaching out to me. I don't know if it's just because of the people that are contacting me that I talk to, or what the situation is. But the house was dead silent, and this was at night. This wasn't to where there was kids outside. We do have a family of kids across the street, which you could not hear them, if they were out doing anything like that, but nobody was out. I, went outside. I checked the area and all that stuff. There was nothing going on. And it was totally in the house. You could hear it. It was live action. It was stereo. It was loud. And it was wild, dude. It was crazy.
Yeah, that I couldn't imagine. But at the same time too, it's the shock. The shock is what puts you.
Oh yeah, I can definitely say that. I definitely the person coming in the home, that was more startled because again, I thought it was just somebody breaking into the house, or once it was nobody I knew coming in my home, I was like, okay, we got a situation here.
What do you think this is going? What do you think the cause of this is? Like I was thinking as well. All the stuff you do your research on, you hear these stories.
Yeah.
The Ouija board over Skype. Some, even though it's over Skype, you still have that the energy that can still transfer through, electronics and shit.
Yeah.
But like, could it be like the stuff you're talking about, researching? It's kind of like I don't know. Building a energy here now because you do all the recordings here.
Exactly.
Now you're building energy. Maybe that's having this. I don't know. Maybe one or two entities.
No, seriously,
messing with you.
That could be it. I chalked it up to and again, not in a negative way, but my talks with Christina, because she's being visited by ETs, extraterrestrials, or different entities and different beings. So I chalked it initially up to maybe it's something, with her based upon what happened with my light in my other studio. So, but I don't know what it is. And now with this situation with this ring light doing what her lights have done, but then you're here now to even witness it. Yeah. And so I find that remarkable. I'm curious to see what'll happen once you leave. To see if it goes back, to normal. So I just find it, very interesting that I'm actually becoming, my own test study, my own test subject.
Yeah, you could do ghost tours right here, right now,
or something.
Especially with that type of energy, man. You can definitely, if it's something here, you can definitely catch it.
Yeah,
definitely catch some evidence on it.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, I can leave, things recording all night just for EVP
I've always
purposes
thought about
and
doing
video
stuff like that. I can't.
Oh, you can't to where you don't want to know when you're home.
I don't want to know what the hell's going on when I'm sleeping.
Ooh.
I've thought about after Paranormal Activity came out, but when that movie came out, I was like 14 when it came out.
Oh wow, okay.
But then it's in the back of my head, like, what is it like?
Yeah,
when you record yourself sleeping. Like honestly, like
I don't know if
I can catch nothing right away.
I didn't think about recording myself sleeping. I didn't think about that aspect of it, but that would be interesting.
Or just having a video. Well, you have that now with video cameras in your house now.
Yeah, I have
so a lot of people's on TikTok, you see a lot of people recording shit on their phones.
Yeah,
but before then, you didn't know what was going on in your house. Now
exactly.
You do.
Yeah, exactly. And the funny thing about it is, it's very rare that my house is silent, quiet, to where it's just quiet, nothing happening, nothing going on. And it was live action, man. It was something. It was an incredible experience. It was here. I wasn't going crazy. It was just a random occurrence, and I've never heard a child in this home ever. I've never heard anybody jumping rope or skipping. And the reason why it wasn't. If I would have just heard the feet, I would have, okay, maybe it's no. You heard the rope hitting the ground.
It's probably best you don't play the Ouija board inside this house.
Yeah. No, I don't plan.
That's creepy.
Other than you talking about that, I don't plan on doing that. So, but yeah, I just find that I find it very incredible, very intriguing. Yeah. So, with that being said, that is my story. But let's go ahead and hear some stories that I have, found from around the web, and then we'll talk about, what we think that those situations are. So here we go.
Stories from around the web. This story is from Charmaine. Let's begin. My daughter has always seen visions of very scary things at night when she's sleeping, ever since she was very young, right up until adulthood. The one night before her birthday, she was sleeping next to me. She woke up screaming, "What's that?" saying it over and over, which obviously woke me up because of the way she grabbed me. I looked at the bottom of the bed and saw something. Then I blacked out completely. When I came round, I was on the other side of the bed trying to stop something that I couldn't see but could feel was going towards my daughter. I blacked out again. Then my sister came running into the room because she could hear us screaming. We looked at my daughter. She was sitting with her legs folded, holding her hands upright and saying that her palms are burning. Then they looked at me, and I had a huge lump on the side of my forehead about the size of a quarter of an ostrich egg, which is big. We were all in shock and drained, so little after that we laid down again and slept for about 3 hours. When I woke, the lump was completely gone on my forehead. Surely something so huge would leave a bruise. Later that morning, we were going to get baking products for the birthday cake. When I went out into the sun, I felt a burning sensation in my hair near where the lump was. There were 2 deep scratches there, which has now left slight scars. When we came back from shopping, my sister said, "What did I see?" We made sure my daughter was far away from us in the house. When I told her that when I first woke up, I saw a black, swirling, mist-looking figure at the end of the bed. Later, we asked my daughter what did she see. She described exactly the same thing. Plus, my daughter is a very honest person and would have no reason to lie, and we made sure she couldn't hear us when we discussed it. What is even more scary is about a week later, I developed a deep mark that looks like a dent in my forehead. This was years ago, and I still have it. When I get angry, it seems to go deeper and get a dark mark around it that looks almost like a birthmark, but then goes away. And that's just one of my stories. What could that have been? Plus, we continuously have had bad luck all our lives in my family. It's like we're cursed.
Wow. That's wild. I thought my story was something.
That's creepy.
Ooh.
Somebody put a curse on him.
Yeah.
It has to be.
Yeah.
There's no other way.
That dark swirling figure, that is the only other thing that's happened to me in this home. That really? I've seen that figure.
Like a misty, dark.
Yes, a misty, swirling figure. It was one night, again, a lot of people will chalk it up to sleep paralysis, which I've never had sleep paralysis. But I was in the bed, and I have, when you walk in my hall, I have a Nest thermostat. So when you walk by it, it automatically, the light will come on and it will show you the time. And it's only triggered by a sensor, meaning someone walks by it, correct?
Yeah, movement.
Yeah, by movement. So as I'm laying there, I see the light come on in the hallway. I'm like, okay, why did that light just come on? I'm like, I'm expecting somebody to walk into the room. Nobody walks into the room. I'm like, okay, this is weird. And again, this happened years ago. And so I'm like, okay, that's odd. And then so I'm like, okay, maybe I'm tripping. Maybe it was updating itself or something. You know, I'm making excuses.
Yeah, I mean, it's IT at the end of the day, so it's going to reboot at random ass times.
Yeah.
If it does, but I get what you're saying.
It doesn't even do that.
That would have been the first thing that came to my mind.
Yeah, I was making excuses for for it, or trying to come up with some reason of why it did what it did, right? So as I'm laying there, I see like a shadow peek over and then jump back, like
a peeker.
Yeah, peeks over, then snaps back. I'm like, the hell? And so again, I sit up because I'm not even thinking at that point. I'm not thinking about sleep paralysis or anything. I sit up like, okay, what the hell's going on? Like, okay, this is weird. And then I just sit up and I sit there. I don't get up. So I don't hear any footsteps or anything like that. And so as I sit up, I'm sitting there just looking in this area, waiting either for the light to come on again or for the shadow to peer into the room again. So I'm sitting there for a minute, nothing happens. I'm like, okay, maybe I'm tripping. Now again, I'm making excuses like a lot of people do, who see things and you just don't want to admit that something that you can't explain is happening, right? So I lay back down. As I lay back down, I see like a dark, and again, we always talk on this show about there is the darkness of your room and the darkness of, that your room is dark, right?
Yes.
But then there's another form of darkness. Yep. When you see a dark shadow,
even darker than the room.
It's darker than cold. Yeah. It's this deep darkness that's just incredible. And as it's walking into the room, it starts to undulate and swirl. Mm-mm. So as it's undulating and swirls, and it's coming toward me now, and I cannot move. I can't move at all. I'm like, what the hell is going on? So as it approaches me, it starts to like spark. Like you see sparks shooting around it. So as it's swirling, it's like imagine like a twister that's contained, but it's in one stationary, small spot. Yeah. But things are, spinning in it, and you can see the, things that are spinning in it. But this is like sparks. It's like sparks, and it's like a golden color. Mm. It's really crazy, dude. And it's at this point you can see through it because it's swirling around and it's just sparking. Mm. I'm trying to get the hell out of this bed. I'm trying every part of my being and body to get out of this damn bed. And I cannot move at all. I can't talk. I cannot move. And again, I'm not thinking sleep paralysis. I'm thinking, get me the fuck out of this goddamn bed is what I'm thinking, right? So and I'm trying to scream at, again, I don't even know what my scream would sounded like. Yeah. I'm trying everything, right? This thing is at the side now. It's and I say he because some reason it just felt like a male entity, like some kind of male entity. And as it approaches my left side, it bends over. And again, now this thing is not it's not formed like a body. It's just like a dark cloud with all these sparks and stuff running through it, and it's just swirling around. So as it leans over toward me, I don't know if it forms a head or the head was already there, but it's trying to tell me something. And I'm not understanding what it's saying. But no, actually, I'm not even thinking about one way or the other, whether or not I understand it, but it's just trying to tell me something. Yeah. And as it's telling me whatever it's telling me, it starts to repeat it. Then I'm trying to, freaking think about everything, and
you're trying to get the hell out.
I'm trying to get the hell out of the bed, right? I have this tattoo on my left arm, and it's just it means a lot because it has a lot of different things. It has it's an arrow. It has a Buddha on it. It has my my sign, which is Libra, and I actually have a sigil on it to defend against evil. And so as this is occurring, I start thinking about the sign that I have, the sigil that I have. And I start to form that in my mind as I'm thinking about this. And then so as I start to think about this particular tattoo that I have, it starts to repel. It starts to move away from the bed. And as I'm thinking about it, I'm pretty sure I think about God, Jesus, and I'm saying all kind of different things. Mm. And as it just goes back out of the room, and I'm up and I'm like, what the fuck? I'm bouncing around the goddamn room. I'm like, what the hell was that? And it was just crazy. It was crazy. And again, this is all visual. This is the feeling was just, the energy in the room was like, I don't know. It was just magnetic. It was just so much energy that was happening in the room. And it was just and again, Was it evil? I don't know. It looked evil. You know what I'm saying? When you
Did it
think
feel
about
evil?
I don't know if it felt evil. I know I wanted to, my whole thing was trying to get away from it.
Yeah.
You know, that was my whole thing. My whole thing, I didn't even think or because it was like, you know, I don't know, being in a situation to where you know harm might come to you and you want to try to do everything you can to get out of that situation because you don't know how it's going to, you know, turn out. So that's the best way I can describe it. I don't know if I felt it was evil or I had a particular feeling. I just know that the evil part of me the evil part of me, the part that said it was evil was because of the way it looked. And it was dark. It was ominous. It was undulating. It had these sparks, you know, coming off of it as it was moving, and I couldn't move. I felt it was keeping me in this position. So to me, it was like, get the fuck out of this goddamn room, you know. So I don't, you know, but what I did trip off of, how it bent over and kept saying something to me, kept repeating something. And then again, as I thought about my tattoo and the sigil and the get rid of evil and, you know, dispense with evil and all that stuff, it did repel. It did start to go back and everything. So I do find that interesting. And again, that nothing like that has ever happened to me before. So to me, that was just crazy.
No, that's wild as hell to go through something like that.
Yeah,
almost like a demonic. I want to say it's like a demonic presence in a way, because I've had demonic dreams before, and when you talk about that feeling of the power and like the just the presence of them, you can feel that shit. I've had 3 dreams actually, when I was younger, obviously, that I felt that power. And this one of the times I in my dream, I felt the power was so strong, I had to just get on my knees.
Oh, wow.
At that time in my dream. And I remember in my dream, I was like, I had to open the door. And I was telling my grandmother, because my grandmother was she was a big Christian.
Yeah.
And so I knew in my dream, I was like, Mom, like, you know, we got to open the door together. So as soon as we opened the door together, that power lifted off. Like once the light came in, the power lifted off. But when you said like having, you know, feeling that power, that reminded me of, you know, having dreams, because I feel like you could get visited by demons and shit through dreams, through what you went through, and you know, anything. But no, that's a trippy feeling. Yeah, to have. It's a really fucked up feeling.
Yeah, no, it was crazy. Was I afraid of it? I was afraid of what it represented, I think, more than anything else, because again, when we talk about demonic or demon or, you know, the devil or just any of those types of things, we talk about darkness, we talk about fire, we talk about all, you know, of those things, shadow figures. And, you know, I mean, have you met a cool shadow figure? You know what I mean? Like somebody you want to invite home with you. And, you know, so I just find it, you know, interesting that I don't know what I felt. It's hard to explain. I don't know what I felt. Once it was all over, I kept thinking about, what was it trying to say to
tell
me?
You, yeah.
Yes. What was it trying to tell me? Was it trying to warn me about something? Was it trying to say, we have a meeting at some point? And, you
never know. It feels like it was like on mute. You know how like on movies, when like the spirit comes next to them and then bend over and they're talking, but you can't hear them because it's on mute pretty much. I mean, no, it just sounds like, I don't know, maybe your ears were protecting you. Something was protecting you from not hearing it in the first place.
Yeah. Or was it, you know, that I wasn't in the veil or that dimension of what it was, you know, as it was coming through. The frequency to hear it. And so
they don't just come out of nowhere. You know, like you said, they have to come from different different dimensions. If you believe in that, I do. Yes. I honestly think there's different dimensions that creatures come from. You know, paranormal creatures come from. Like a lot of people think Bigfoot comes from a different
dimension to where he slips
like
in
he
and
can
out.
come
And
in and out whenever he goes.
Yeah, that's why people can't really
can
catch
never
him.
Catch him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Or aliens too. I've heard that too. Aliens doing the same thing. They can go back and forth, and if we're on the same frequency, we are able to. I believe we're able to communicate with them.
Communicate and to where it's actually here in the present.
Yeah,
and everything like that. Yeah, that's wild.
Because our frequency is probably hella low, and theirs are like out of the roof.
Exactly, and there, and is it certain times that the veil is thinner? Or the dimension, they're able to slip through the dimension and, peek into someone else's reality, or, is it, beings that are communicating with you and, normally I would have been asleep and never knew this entity always visits me and whispers something in my ear, which is just wild to even think about.
And if that happens, that's even crazier. We don't know, but then it's like whispering shit into your subconscious at the end of the day.
Exactly.
That's why I don't listen to music sleeping, because you don't know the true meaning behind the shit they say.
Yeah.
And if you go to sleep, your subconscious is picking up on all that. So
I listen to podcasts going to sleep, but what I'll do is I'll cut it like 30 minutes when I think I'm going to fall asleep. So that way, it actually cuts off.
There's somebody told me that a long time ago that, it's bad to, because there's a lot of subliminal messages.
Oh yeah, for sure. That's on there, and we just don't know about because no one's taking the time out to really,
sleeping with it, I just don't want to do that, because I feel like you're putting things into your spirit that, doesn't need to be in there, that people is poisoning on purpose by putting shit that you don't know.
Yep, that's true. That's true.
Just like how they
put
again, food in our
who would have thought at DreamWorks that whomever, whatever team, whatever executive, whatever animator has Ouija boards in the break room, and they're just randomly contacting spirits. So I find that
it's like they're playing it for like it's Monopoly.
Yeah. That's
how what it felt like to me, and that place is too creepy. I didn't like it.
Yeah.
I wasn't the only one that had experiences when it comes to paranormal shit there. A lot of people felt things. I don't think I've never seen anything, but the feeling always felt things. I got scratched up, I think twice there.
Yeah.
One I just told you about, I got scratched there.
And again, you didn't bump into anything. You didn't lean your back up against nothing. And trust me, when you guys see these scratches, these are unmistakable. If anything, it's like Tony was just telling his girlfriend that because he had a wild, night out somewhere, and he came up with this.
And it's like I had my security outfit on, a shirt underneath that, and then I had a jacket on. So for me to get scratched like that, I have to have my shirt off. I can't have clothes on getting scratched up like that. So, and it was winter too, so I was covered up. Is why it's so weird of being scratched up right after looking at the Ouija board. I just think that energy kind of leached onto me, because after I played the Ouija board the first time, I had like years of like, I want to say bad luck, but like just unfortunate shit, and also paranormal stuff would escalate a lot more after I played the Ouija board the first time in my life.
Like what types of things happened? Was it stuff that
bad dreams?
Oh, okay.
Dreams, things would move, things would fall off. I would walk by stuff sometimes and shit would just fall, and it would be in a sturdy ass place, and I would just walk by, and next thing you know, I just hear doop.
Yeah,
it was like, and that shit was like way in the back. Like, how the hell did it get up here? Scratches. That was another thing that occurred afterwards. Of playing the Ouija board. And like I said, mostly bad dreams.
Okay.
Bad dreams is what really got me.
Yeah. That's interesting, man.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go ahead and play another story from around the web, and let's talk about it. And we didn't get to. I went right into my story because I went off of them seeing that dark entity. But that's unfortunate. Going back to the last story that we played. I hope everything's better now. I hope things have settled down, and it's not. There is such thing as entities that can be passed down, or family curses that, should and, can be lifted, and, entities that, that move through your family and, just, latch on to other individuals, whether they're negative people or positive, depending on what, type of entity it is and, how the person is. And so those are things to look out for.
I wonder if this was happening at a different, at their house before, or if this was the first house, if they always had shit like that happening to them as, growing up as kids.
Yeah, she was saying that they always had bad,
the family,
luck, and something has always, they felt, been following, them. So
it could
maybe
be like
it's
a
something
generational curse that's somebody did something back in the day and bam, now the whole family screwed up.
Exactly. No, that's very true. That's very true. All right. Okay, let's get into the next story.
I've recently moved to Weed, California, small town next to Mount Shasta. I'm an avid hiker and love exploring, so naturally 2 days ago, I decided to go hike the mountain on one of my days off. Not entirely sure why, but I decided to drive my car very deep into the forest, surrounding the base of the mountain, as far as the dirt road would allow me. It was around 3 p.m. with a clear sky, so I was very confident and enjoying the scenery as I got out of my car and started my hike, heading closer to the mountain. At first, it was your regular everyday hike, lots of birds and squirrels around. That smell of nature that fills your lungs as you walk across the terrain. It wasn't until I reached a small, dried-up river that I noticed something was off. As I stopped to look at the dried-up river and take pictures, I noticed that it was strangely very, very quiet. No birds chirping, no signs of squirrels or other animals, and even the sound of the wind you hear when you're on a mountain seemed to be completely gone. At the time, I thought it was just an odd coincidence and started walking up alongside the river. But as I kept walking and being able to only hear my own footsteps, I couldn't shake the feeling that I was being watched. Not the kind of feeling that makes you think someone is outside your window watching you. The kind of feeling that makes you feel multiple people or things are observing your every movement, studying you. I've never had that kind of feeling in my life. But what happened after made me completely forget about that feeling. I suddenly started to hear something out of nowhere that sounded like angelic humming, or maybe a song with no lyrics. But it also sounded strangely electric, like the sound telephone lines make. It wasn't very loud, but enough to make me look in the direction it was coming from. I looked to the other side of the dried-up river that had multiple trees and other foliage to see someone or something looking straight at me. It almost looked like a ghost, with it looking completely white. But this thing was very clearly there. It almost looked like it was wearing a robe, but I couldn't see any feet, hands, or even a face, although it had an oval head. However, I could feel it looking straight at me, almost as if it was trying to remember my every detail. Even from afar away, I could tell that its entire body had a very weird texture, almost like porcelain, but if porcelain was a silky fabric, it was very obviously not human. I was very understandably in complete shock and terror, frozen in place, kind of scared. We both looked at each other for what felt like forever, but it was most likely around 20-30 seconds. I very, very slowly started walking backwards. I don't think I took more than 2 steps when it tilted its head, as if it was curious or even surprised at what I was doing. All the while I could still hear that electric angelic humming. And I swear it got a little louder when I took those steps back, when I turned my head to look behind me to make sure the way was clear so I could run. The song suddenly stopped, abruptly, without warning. This shocked me, and when I turned back to look at the thing, it was gone. No sign of it anywhere. As soon as I saw that it disappeared, I ran as fast as I could, following the path I took back. Even after it had disappeared and while I was running, I could still feel like I was being watched from all sides. I almost tripped a few times in how fast I was going. When I got to my car, sounds of animals and the mountain wind suddenly came back, but I was still scared out of my mind and drove as fast as I could away from the mountain. I've never had anything paranormal happen to me in the past, and I've honestly always been very skeptical of stuff like that. But this experience has left me questioning a lot of things. I don't think I want to go back on that mountain. I've even had a nightmare about the experience. I'm not even sure what I saw or what to call it.
Man, that is wild.
Well, that wasn't no ghost.
Yeah, that was probably an ET or could have been some type of
something else.
Yeah.
Especially for your first time. That's kind of messed up to have. Your first experience, imagine?
Yeah.
Your first experience, and then you see a figure looking at you from a distance, and it's intrigued at you, at what you're doing.
Yeah.
Hell no.
Yeah, that's wild, man. I don't know what that could have been because, again, he said it was like porcelain. Yeah, I haven't heard anything described like that before.
You know, that's why I don't go alone to places like that.
Oh, to like parks and all that stuff. No. Please. You know, because again, a lot of people go missing. We talk about it on the show all the time, and never are they heard of,
Did you hear heard from again. That, I don't know if this is true, but allegations of this little girl that was kidnapped at Disneyland.
Okay.
Did you hear about that?
No.
It's not a.
Did she like disappear and she's never seen again?
So I guess the parents are saying that I don't know why you would let your kid go to the bathroom by themselves. I think she was like 7 or a little under 7, or I would say 7 or a little under that.
Okay.
They let her go use the restroom by herself, and then I believe they saw somebody grab her and walk with her through Disneyland, and they went through they turned the corner where there wasn't a lot of people, and they went through like a tunnel.
Okay.
But then when they went through the tunnel, they tried following. It closed, like kind of closed off, I believe. Something closed off, and they wasn't able to get their daughter back. I don't know if this is true or not.
Yeah.
But it's a story that I came across, and saying that they're trying to hush them up and not kind of make it public or.
Yeah, so you think it was like, just a creeper, some freaking crazy pedophile? You think it was a ghost? Think it was a time slip?
No, I've heard that a lot of that there's possible tunnels in at Disneyland.
I've heard that
like
also.
Get people, from here to there.
Yeah.
Celebrities and stuff like that without being traced and stuff. But, if you're want to put your tinfoil hat on a little bit, it could be people believe that it's a way to sex traffic kids at least.
Wow.
Without, knowing. And that's what the parents believe was, people, not the parents, that's what people believe that what was happening.
Yeah.
Was that the little girl got kidnapped through the tunnels from being obviously at the park and, now sex traffic, if that's even a true story. But I did come across that and I thought that was.
Well, really I hope it's not just based upon you don't want that to ever happen. But that's terrible, man.
Yeah, like Disneyland, I got the stories of their haunting stories. There's
a lot.
And tunnels, and the tunnels too.
Yeah, we need to probably do a little show on that.
There's a lot of haunted shit that happens on Disneyland.
Oh yeah,
they capture a lot of ghost videos,
and
they have cast members have like stories of their experiences and stuff.
Oh yeah, I believe it. I believe it. Especially if there's all these tunnels that are happening, and who knows what's gone on over the years, the decades of things happening, to people and stuff. So yeah, that's incredible.
But I couldn't imagine what that guy went through the first time of going through a paranormal experience.
Oh yeah, especially like that. I mean, seeing that type of entity. I don't know if it was an ET. I don't know if it was some ghost, some time slip. Because imagine, even like a future type time slip. Who knows how we're going to be, 200,000 years from now and everything else. And is this things that we're seeing now as far as these exotic crafts and everything that the military is experiencing? Is this us coming back, or is this, actual beings that are here and, that are taking people and, doing their experiments and all that other stuff.
A lot of people that do that's into conspiracies really think that Project Bluebeam is really coming to effect when it comes to like UFOs and stuff like of them showing us fake things and not truly real stuff.
Yeah, no, for sure. Definitely. All right, let's go ahead and get into our calls and our emails. Let's go ahead and get into it.
To become a part of Strange Darkness Radio, don't hesitate to contact us via email at strangedarknessradio@gmail.com or through our hotline at 916-741-3032. Share your story within a 3-minute message window. If your narrative requires more time, feel free to call again until your tale is fully told. We'll seamlessly compile it. Anticipation builds as we look forward to your engaging emails and calls. Stay tuned to discover our upcoming show emailer or caller. Now let's see who we have on tonight's show. Shadows in the Night by Anonymous. I was born and raised in Fiji and lived there until I was 20 years old. The house I lived in was a government-owned rental, a single-family, 3-bedroom home with a servant's quarter. The house was approximately 20 or 30 years old. I had never had any paranormal experiences living there until one night when I was around 7 years old. One evening, I went to bed just like it was any other night, maybe around 8 or 9 o'clock. I had been asleep for a while. I'm not sure how long it was. But all of a sudden, I remember waking up in the middle of the night. When I opened my eyes, I noticed movement by my feet. I wasn't sure if I was imagining things, so I remember closing my eyes tightly and reopening them to make sure I was seeing what I thought I was seeing. Down by the foot of the bed were 2 shadows in the shape of human adults. Both of these shadows were the same height. Each one was standing on either side of my feet, and they were facing each other. All of a sudden, in the middle of these 2 shadows, another adult-shaped shadow appeared. This one would bow down, stand up, and then vanish. There was no sound from any of them. I felt a slight chill in the air, but I wasn't really scared. I was more startled and rather curious about who they were. After a minute of watching them, I pulled my blanket over my head and stayed under there until I fell asleep and morning had arrived. This happened to me 2 other times. We eventually moved to another house, and I never experienced it again. I am not familiar with the history of the house, so I don't know if anyone had passed away there. I never told anyone about this experience. I'm not sure why. Perhaps because I wasn't afraid of them. But also, we don't talk about these kinds of things in my family, so to this day, no one knows about my experience. I'm not sure if anyone else in my family had a similar experience. I haven't experienced anything else like that to this day.
That's interesting.
No, yeah, it is.
Because I wonder, was that like family members or something to, just to appear there and then bow? Like, was that some type of religious thing or?
That's what I pictured in my head.
Yeah.
Like it's some type of ancient tribe type of shit.
Yeah.
Visiting their great paying
respect
whatever
or to say
granddaughter.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah.
Nice to see you.
Wow. Yeah.
But no, that's I don't think I've ever do you ever a family member, right? Say you had a family member that passed away that you were really close to. You ever had a dream about them after they passed?
No, I don't think I have.
They come to you and they come to you in your dream and be like, hey, I'm feeling better. I'm
nope,
good.
I've never had that happen.
No?
Nope, I've never had that happen.
I've had it twice. I've had it once when I was younger, when I was little. I want to say, I think I was 7 or 6. My cousin, he was had special needs, and he passed away. When he passed away, I had a dream of him years later. Like he was in a wheelchair and everything. And then I had a dream of him one night. It was a clear room, and he was sitting in a chair, and he looked, I don't want to say normal, but he looked, he didn't look like he had any issues. He looked like he was fine, like, you know, like any other person. And I looked at him, he looked at me, he gets up and he's like, I'm good. I'm doing okay. And I was like, okay, like that's cool, So we talked for a little bit and then we played. It was such a long time ago, but the recent one was, I believe, a day before my grandmother passed. So my grandmother passed in 2019 in December 4th. She dealt with breast cancer from the 90s twice. I think like 90, I want to say 94.
Okay.
Then didn't have breast cancer until 2010. Wow. Then she had lymph node cancer in her neck and 12, I believe.
Oh, man.
And then cancer came back again in 2018 and 19.
Yeah.
And so when she passed, she had a lot of shit that she was, struggling with.
Mm-hmm.
But I was living in LA, and I would come out here to, spend time with her and also help my grandfather out. Because they also had foster kids at the time. Okay. So he would go to work and she stayed at home. So I would come and help her out, pick the kids up. Anyways, the day before she passed away, I had a dream. I was at her house, and before she passed, she was in bad condition. She was laying down, she was sleeping a lot of the time. She lost a lot of weight, she was talk, but it took a lot of energy out of her.
Yeah.
So I'm at her house and she's in the living room. She's bent over and she's like picking something up. And then she gets up and I looked at her, I said, Mom, like, you all right? Like, what are you doing down there? And she looked at me and she was like, I'm good. I'm fine. Mm-hmm. Everything's fine. I'm good. I feel good now. Yeah. And I was like, okay. In my dream, I wasn't really thinking anything of it. So I woke up, went to work that day. Didn't think of it. I just thought the dream was weird. Yeah. And then I get a call about 30 minutes before I get off of work. I got off of work around 4:30, so around 4 o'clock. Mm-hmm. I get a call that she passed away. Wow. And I was like, ain't that some shit? Because my grandmother, she raised me. Yeah. So she's pretty much like my mom. Yeah. Or not pretty much, she is my mom, So having that dream, really made me feel in a way like, thank you for coming to visit me. That's why I asked you, like, have you ever had that happen? Because, I didn't think she was going to die the next day. It was just crazy, exactly. That you come to, you come to me in your dream. Yeah. In my dream.
Yeah. No, I've heard that happen a lot. It just hasn't happened to me. Mm-hmm. But that's incredible, man. That's, at least she was able to basically say goodbye in her way, Yeah, because you saw her in a good light, you saw her, with energy, not suffering. Mm-hmm. So yeah.
And I think before I left, I hugged her, gave her a kiss, and I tried calling her, I believe, like a few days later. And my auntie was with her, and she wouldn't let me talk to her because she couldn't talk. Yeah, it just took too much energy, and I was kind of upset, like, man, why can't I talk to her? So I was kind of happy that she, came up to me at the end, before she passed in my dream, because I'm all the way in LA and she's here in Sacramento. Yeah, but yeah, that was special. But no, it's crazy how that happens though. Mm-hmm. How your spirit can leave and then visit your loved ones, before you go. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's incredible, man. I'm glad you had that experience, and she was able to, like I said, say goodbye, in her way. So yeah, that's incredible. All right, let's go ahead and get into our last story from the phone line or email. I'm not sure which one this is, but let's go ahead and jump into it.
My experiences with shadow people. I was probably 5 or 6 years old when I first saw them. If you're unaware of what shadow people are, first off, you're lucky. But to explain, they're tall, skinny, featureless black shadows that wear no clothes, have no hair, nothing at all. I grew up in the town of Oceanside, California, and lived there most of my life. It's believed that shadow people linger in one place and will not follow you. I would see them here often. They weren't just in my house, but on the streets. The most common encounter I had was with the man at the end of the bed. I slept at the top of a bunk bed my sister and I shared, and I would often turn my head and see him. He was fairly tall, almost reaching my bunk, around 6 feet. Shadow people do not speak, but they do look. When they see you, they're gone. If they notice you see them, they're gone. I like to believe they're shy. They're not harmful creatures, and nothing strange ever happened aside from their presence being there. They never tampered with animals, humans, or objects. In fact, animals didn't see them. Not everyone does. Most of the time, the man at the end of the bed just looked around in very swift movements, but it still felt like they moved in pictures. Almost every time I saw him, he would vanish nearly immediately. There was one time, though, where my eyes met where his would be. That was astonishing to 9 or 10-year-old me. I was driving down the street one day when I saw another. This was one of the most clear shadow people I'd ever seen. A woman, I think, in a brown coat, was walking. As I looked, she appeared to be followed by a shadow person. It followed her steps before vanishing. I only saw the woman turn the corner in the other direction before we drove off. That was the only time I recall having seen one actually move. I've seen them probably 50 times more. I moved into a rental in Idaho when I was 11 and lived in a house in Washington since I was 12. I haven't seen them since California. Has anybody else seen them? I can't be alone.
I've seen shadow figures, so
I don't
you
think
are
I've
not
ever
alone.
seen any shadow figures. I don't
No?
think so.
The one shadow figure by the bed, I would go to hospitals and see like the Hat Man. It'd be like in the corner of a room.
I've seen that shit before?
Oh, yeah. I've seen that. I've seen the shadow figures at Kaiser South that are in the halls going in the back area by the morgue. I've seen those. So I've seen shadow figures.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen any. I've seen is it a full body apparition? If you see their face, like their eyes, you know, it's like if I'm looking at you right now.
Yeah.
Is that a full body apparition?
Yeah, that's you're seeing a person.
I've had that, but that was like
Yeah.
the person was
It's not in the shadow form,
right
that's
in
in
my
the
face.
physical form.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But shadows, I don't even think I even seen shadow figures on the
Well, no, you told me about that one situation where that was a doppelganger thing in the
that
room.
shit was crazy. That shit was crazy.
Yeah, the doppelganger story.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah.
You know, and that was broad daylight too.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, I had that was broad. That one was broad daylight. And the when I went to put my son for a nap, and I had the the water glass behind me, and it seemed like somebody's fingernails. It sounded like somebody's fingernails was tapping the glass.
Oh wow. Yeah.
I kid you not, bro.
Wow.
It was like I want to say 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah.
I was like, well, I'm going to sleep. I'm not about to look at this shit.
Yeah, and again, I can't.
That.
Normally, I would say, no, man, get up, investigate it, leave the house, whatever. But again, after
I didn't want to wake up my son either.
Yeah,
so I was stuck.
Oh, exactly. Plus, you got a child in the home too. But after my crazy recent experiences, and again, in the studio, right as we're doing this episode, this light has been flickering. It's been doing all kind of wild things. And I've been in communications with Christina and just letting her know what's happening. Because again, she has these particular electronic issues, electrical issues, light bulb issues with ET experiences that goes on, at her home. And it's just funny. Now they're transitioning over here. And I've asked her, has she recently had any issues? And it's funny that she says, nope, she hasn't had any issues lately.
Where does she live?
She lives in South Dakota.
And she gets all these
Or
experiences
Carolyn.
by herself? And
Yeah. All these experiences by herself. Again, hopefully you guys have heard the actual episode with her by now. But yeah, she has all these wild experiences, and she, takes it on. She's not afraid of it. She, likes the contact in the sense that she feels that these are entities that are reaching out to her. And she's just trying to understand and listen and see what they're saying. Because again, the whole thing is there are entities out there, extraterrestrial, that are communicating with other humans and giving them information that is supposedly going to be useful for, whether it's for disclosure, whether it's for what's coming. I'm not really sure, and a lot of people aren't sure, but that's what is out there these days that's going on. So
yeah, some people claim to know how to communicate with UFOs.
Oh yeah, exactly.
In the sky and stuff.
Yeah,
that one doctor on Amazon, he has his movies. I think it's Theory of a Fourth Kind, Theory of a Fifth Kind, I believe it's called.
Yeah, I forgot
his name. His shit is interesting.
Oh yeah.
He says that he always contact UFOs. And there's an app I think he has too. If you pay a certain amount of money, it's a training app that helps you or train you to communicate with aliens.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm. When I watched the, I forgot how much it cost. I want to say like maybe $10.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I have to check that out. I'm not sure.
Yeah. Yeah. He talked about it in his documentary.
Yeah.
And I looked it up quick. I was like, that looks interesting.
Yeah, what was the documentary called?
I think Theory of the Fifth Kind. Something of the Fifth Kind. It's on Amazon.
Yeah.
He made that app.
Oh, okay.
To like teach you how to communicate with UFOs, and then some of them to you so you can spot them out like how he does with a group of people.
Yeah, I haven't even, that's so funny, man. I'm telling you again, I'm loving all of this. I'm loving all the information that I'm getting from people and that are out in these different communities, and just trying to go down this, rabbit hole of information and knowledge. And yeah, will some of this start rubbing off, and will, I keep having these types of experiences? Yeah. Am I game for it? To a degree. I'm definitely not trying to be haunted. I'm not trying to have no demonic, things in my studio or my home or following me per se. But I do want to find out what's going on. And I know they say, hey, well, you get what you asked for. You're looking for this. So I understand all that good stuff. What is your take on that?
About looking for...
well,
are you looking
just
for?
Peering into the veil, because again, you look for things will, present itself to you.
And like you, I do it to a certain extent. Yeah. I don't want to, but like you said, you don't know what you're fucking with.
Yeah,
you may think it's all good, fun and games until you get that one.
Crazy. I definitely do not think this is funny.
No, I'm not saying it's funny. No, yeah.
I definitely think this is.
But you never know what you're gonna get when it comes to ghost hunting. But I do want to go UFO hunting one day, like Arizona.
Yeah,
go Arizona somewhere. Or I just
came back from Arizona.
Wherever it's a hot spot for UFOs, just go out there. I don't know if
Arizona is, and actually, went to the Parapod Awards, which again, Tony was on that, the show for that year that we were nominated. So, I don't know if I ever said congratulations to us getting that nomination and, being the runner-ups and having the whole VIP treatment at the Parapod Awards. But I was able to meet, a lot of people like Billy Carson, Linda Moulton Howe, and, they did have a UFO watch night. I just didn't get there that early to be able to, have that experience.
Yeah, that would be really cool, actually. Because I look at the sky every day, and I'm hoping I could see, like a star that looks like it's going in the right direction.
Well, no, I've seen a UFO. I've seen a UFO.
I believe I have wild.
Too. But Jimmy Church, I believe, led a because he was the speaker that was there. He's a radio host. He's an amazing individual. He has his own show, which is incredible. And he always goes on UFO tours as far as like putting groups together in California,
nice.
Right before Bakersfield, I believe. They have a place that's a hot spot that they go to and, do a UFO watch thing. So maybe it's something that we can,
I heard,
end up doing one time.
Yeah, I know LA's a kind of a hotspot for UFOs
Oh yeah,
too.
yeah. You know, the whole
It's always been
situation that happened in LA back in the day, with them firing at UFOs.
and in the ocean in LA too. Like, a lot of people say they see UFOs around the ocean.
Yeah. Yep.
In Santa Monica and stuff like that.
Exactly. But it's definitely intriguing, and I am, like I said, just fascinated with what's been happening lately, and
it's
I need
it's
to
an interesting
start.
Topic for sure.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's why I'm so drawn to it, and paranormal activity stories, experiences, because it's so out of the ordinary, and it happens so out of nowhere.
Yeah,
you're in shock, and you're like, "What the fuck just happened?"
Exactly, and you want to know, right? I mean, do you want to leave this earth not knowing that then once you get to the other side, be like, "Oh snap,
man!"
The whole time,
imagine
it was just that puzzle needs that piece that needs to be added once you get to the other side, and you see and understand. The whole thing is like, dang, I was so close to just, finding out or, experiencing, what, because again, is it that I want to know before I go? You know what I'm saying? Like what's on the other side? I've always been that way, because anything that I've done in my life, I've always visualized it first, and then I went and did it. So I played it out in my mind a bazillion times and then did it exactly the way I wanted to make something happen. And then I got the fruits of that labor through doing that, and I've always been that way. And so
I think that's why after death is so fascinating, because you don't know what the hell is there.
Exactly.
Imagine you just sit here, you die, and then as soon as you close your eyes to die, you wake up and it's like you're living another, like, what the hell? I just lived this life. Legit I broke my bone just 2 years ago. I died, and now I'm living another life in a completely different body.
Yeah. You're talking about reincarnation right now. Right?
No, I'm not saying reincarnation. Okay. Like if you get like off the Matrix, like you just get unplugged type of shit.
I see. So you're saying from the Matrix standpoint, where you're back in the same body opposed to a new body or something different.
Yes.
Okay. But how about this? Let me hit you with this one. Because I used to think this, in my teen years, that when you go to sleep. One, I believe you're doing the upload and download, from, your spirit or the consciousness that's there, right? And but what I also would think back at that time, I don't know if I think it's so much anymore, that two scenarios. One, if you were to pass away, you just wind up in another Tony Carr in another existence, right? But again, who's to say what your age level is, or if you're young, if you're old, but you just go into that other reality that's happening. So that's one of the things that I thought that's possible. And again, who knows? I'm not a physicist, but who knows what's possible out there. But another scenario is to where you actually jump. So sometimes when you go to sleep, you actually visualize that other place, whether it's in another universe, another spectrum, or Earth 2 opposed to Earth 1,000,000. You know what I mean? And you actually you wake up in that other body. And everybody are slightly different as far as the interactions you have. Your girl's a little different. Your child's acting a little different than what you've experienced or used to them acting. And because there was this one story that I heard a while back, I don't remember it exactly, but there was this lady who woke up and she believed that she was not from this universe, that she was actually put into another same body, same woman, but into a different, but she was in another universe. Wow. And the people that she came in contact with, she wasn't really, they weren't the same. She believed that they were different. Again, they're saying like, no, we're the same people. You're just having a issue
breakdown.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure of her whole story, but I found that story was very intriguing. Just based upon, she just believed that her situation, that she just woke up in another universe. And I don't know if he ever, went to sleep again and then finally he woke up in the right, place or universe. I'm not sure.
That's actually creepy. Yeah, that's I couldn't imagine. You sit back and you go to sleep and you wake up, your house is on the right hand side instead of the left hand side. You'd be tripping the fuck out.
No, but would you really realize it though?
Not at first.
You know what I'm saying? So that's the thing. But let me hit you with this.
It'd probably take me about a few hours to realize that it's a little tweaked.
Yeah.
For me to start questioning, I'm like, wait, hold on, what's going on?
Okay, but let me hit you with this then. So when you die, especially of natural causes, you're just asleep. When you go to sleep at night, every night, Tony, that you go to sleep, you just happen to wake up. But let's just say, so what I'm saying is when you close your eyes, yes, your body is still functioning. Yes, you're not dead. Yes, you're just sleeping in the way we think of sleep, right? But you are not aware of yourself. You are shut down. Your body has made it to where you cannot move, to protect itself and to protect you. All these things that the brain does. But if you died, you would not know. When you're sleeping, you die in your sleep. You don't know that you died.
Yeah.
You know, you may have a gasp, but how many times do you do that? How many times does a person that's that needs what is the machine?
The oxygen tank?
Yeah.
Oxygen mask?
For where they
breathing problems.
Yeah, they have breathing problems or they have snoring issues and all that stuff.
I see what you're saying. You're talking about
who gasp in their sleep, and sometimes they actually lose their breath or they
when they snore.
But they actually
sleep apnea.
Sleep apnea. Some people hold their breath. And then people shake them to start breathing again. Right. Sometimes they're aware of it. A lot of times when it's the violent portion, they're definitely aware of it, right?
Yeah.
But they're the small things that happen. They're not aware of that. They're not, oh, that happened. I did that 3 times. I woke up this many times. No. They're not aware of it. And so you can't say, well, a person gasps, so they knew they were going to die. They took their last breath. No, actually, no, they did not. So do they get trapped in that dream? Do they get trapped into that mind state? That's a, whatever thought.
Wow.
Let's say there is no dream. That's the darkness that everybody talks about.
That's wild.
So there's just so many things that we don't know. And again, your brain activity, they, put you on a, brain a scanner or something that shows your level of activity will show that your brain is active. There's a certain part of your brain that is actually active, while you're actually sleeping.
I've always thought like the dreams you have, that's like super real.
Yeah.
Like you can sit here and wake up like, nah, that shit was fucking real.
Yeah.
I've always thought that those were the dreams that I've always thought like, what if that's me living a different reality? But I just happened just to preview what the hell he was doing. I just kind of like, I hijacked your body for a second, dog.
Yeah.
While you're me, but in a different universe. But I just hijacked you for a dream real quick, and you're still going on. You just don't. You're not realizing that I'm in the back.
You're visualizing your other self, your other
going on this, daily basis. And shit like that.
Exactly. And you're just watching yourself because your soul is split between.
It feels so fucking real. If like I've had dreams that I can touch things, I can feel it, and I can taste it. And it feels so real because most of my dreams, 99% of my dreams are rubbish.
Yeah, exactly.
They make no sense. They're everywhere. I can't control it. But the dreams that I can control and I can really remember and it feels hella real.
Yeah.
I always thought like, man, what if that's me somewhere else, different dimension? Like the no's, the decisions I make now, the yes I make now, the no I make later.
Yeah.
It goes off 2 different directions. Mm-hmm. Like me being here now, what if in a different universe, I'm at home saying I was going to come, but didn't come.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's crazy.
Yep. No, definitely. But again, this is why we go down rabbit holes. This is why we like talking about this stuff, because we don't know what's out there, but we know there is something, period. Whether you believe in God, whether you believe in ETs, whether you believe that the galaxy just forged us from, atoms and from the water with sails, and we're tadpoles and climbed up out of slime to become
and there's
what we
so
are.
much stuff that's going on in the world that besides that type of interesting elements,
Yeah.
that you got the physical stuff that don't make sense either.
Oh yeah.
That's going on in the world. So it's got all types of shit going on in different angles. That's happening. You got the conspiracy side, you got the spiritual side, you got the paranormal side. There's just too much shit going on all at once.
Yep. No, for sure. And but again, who's to say or who's to know? And that's the rabbit holes we like to go down, the things we like to, find on the show, and to check out these different experiences, and to have these conversations with everyone out there and see what your experience is. Because again, is this just human nature as far as what humans go through, seeing or hearing these voices creatures from thin air, and then everybody has these experiences. And so that's okay. That's just the human mind playing tricks on itself. And so, it's fun to correlate all these people and get them together, and they've had all these different experiences. So is it that this entity or creature is out there, or things or shadow figures, or is it that it's just our brain?
Yeah.
Everybody's drinking Sprite soda, has these experiences, opposed to, you got to drink Mr. Pibb, and then, maybe, you had like a freaky dream because you drank Mr. Pibb.
That's crazy.
Or I should say Dr. Pepper, the Little Prince dude, popped into your dream.
I'm in your dream.
Exactly. So who knows, man? But, I just think it's fun to go down these rabbit holes. But it is interesting that, things that are occurring to me, again, they're not my imagination. It's not, yes, I do need to get these things on tape or audio or video, for sure. But yeah, it's been wild, man. It's been a wild night. It's been a wild night.
Yeah, it's always wild when you have stories to tell.
Oh yeah, exactly.
And when you go through shit like that, you know what? That's why sometimes I miss living in LA, because that house I was in, shit will always happen.
Yeah,
I always have stories to tell. My legs getting dragged. I'm seeing faces in the mirror.
Wow.
I'm hearing little tiptoes walking past the bathroom after I passed the bathroom. It was a lot of shit going on over there. So I do miss it for those reasons of feeling excited. Whereas right now, and as of right now, I'm kind of happy as well that I'm not having anything, just because I don't want my son to be freaked out.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely.
Before him, it was always shit happening, but right now I feel like it's been very much at bay, and I don't want him to be over here talking to himself, talking to the wall. I don't want that.
Yeah. What would you do, dude, if you walked into your kid's room and he's talking to himself or playing with a invisible spirit?
I don't know, man. I don't know. I'll be
freaked out. Did you ever do that? Did you ever do that when you were a kid?
I don't think
do you remember?
So.
Okay.
No, I don't think I did. But I would freak out, because one, I'm like, who are you talking to? One, like, you ain't nobody there. I like to, pick him up, bring him somewhere else. You're gonna start. If he starts crying to that wall, he's talking to somebody, because he doesn't do that unless he wants to be with that person. Mm-hmm. But if he was to do that, that would freak me out.
Yeah,
it really would. I don't think I would.
Because they say, the kids, they're, as the light is now changing,
very open. Their minds are very open to
the pineal gland is active, and they can sense and have these particular supernatural experiences that are things that we as adults have grown out of and can't see.
When he was young, I think last year, he would stare sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
I like the hallway, and I'd be freaked out, and Paula would be like, "Oh, nothing's happening." And I'm like, "Shit, you never know."
Yeah,
you never know, because if he's staring over my shoulder, like, if I'm carrying
looking past you,
and you're looking past me, stuck.
Yeah,
no, that's not. I don't care how old you are.
Yeah,
no, you don't talk right now, so you can't communicate with me of what's going on. So
that's what your mom, your grandma.
It's possible. Yeah, it's possible. But,
playing with him and talking to him and everything, and
I would feel flattered. Yeah. But then I also be a little scared too.
Would you, if you knew it was her 100%?
No, because then you get the feeling too. You get that nice calm, feeling, the spiritual feeling you get.
So have you ever felt her around you or felt that she came back? No?
No, I don't. No, I don't think so. I think when she passed away, I think I came over like 2 days later, and you was able to still feel her presence around. But after that, no.
Oh, okay.
After that, the house felt literally the personality of the house was there 2 days after she. Well, not 2 days after she passed, but sometime after she passed away. I would say about a month or so.
Yeah,
and then it felt like the house soul got sucked out of the house.
Wow.
So now the house doesn't even have a personality no more. That's what it feels like.
Yeah.
Every time I go over there, when I used to go over there, the house would be colorful. That's what it feel like.
Yeah.
Go now, it feels like a black and white movie almost.
Wow.
It's night and day. It's night and day. One person passes away and changes the whole atmosphere.
Wow. That's incredible. That's incredible. All right. Well, you want to call it, man? Man. It's going on almost 2 hours. I think, it's easy. It's like, getting back in the saddle, I would say. Because, it was, it's been a really good show tonight. And, it's been fun having you back on. I hope your butt comes around for more.
Yeah, I'll be back.
And, it was cool. Then have the ladies on and just, we can just riff off of whatever the topic is and, just have a good time. And, I hope the listeners out there, hope you guys enjoy having Mr. Carr back on the show.
Yes, thank you for having me back.
Yes. Yes. And, hopefully more to come.
Yep.
We are out.
Bye.
As your journey through the shadow realms of Strange Darkness Radio concludes, remember that you unlock the door to the paranormal with the key of imagination. Beyond it lies another dimension, a dimension of eerie soundscapes, chilling sights, and the profound depths of the mind. You're venturing into a land of both haunting shadows and tangible substance, where the ethereal meets the corporeal, and ideas take on a spectral form. You've just crossed over into the Strange Darkness Radio Zone. In the vast expanse of the paranormal, there exists a fifth dimension, extending beyond the known realms of our understanding. It is a dimension vast as the cosmos and eternal as infinity, a mysterious terrain between the illumination of light and the depths of shadow. This is the middle ground between the empirical and the supernatural, where fears fester in the pit of humanity's soul and knowledge ascends to its zenith. Welcome to the dimension of imagination, an area we dub the Strange Darkness Radio Zone. As you conclude your journey with us, remember that you're departing this peculiar zone, a place where reality intertwines with the surreal. Be cautious as you step out, for you may find that the boundaries between the normal and the paranormal blur, leaving you forever in the lingering embrace of the unknown. Until next time, farewell from the depths of the Strange Darkness Radio Zone.